Hey coin collectors, and welcome to the DC Coin World International Coin Channel. And today it's a 2003 United States dime. We've got three of them here. There are actually four of them made. They made them at Denver, they made them at Philadelphia, and they made them at San Francisco in two different ways. They made a silver proof coin, and they made a regular Clad Proof coin. And of course this one here, I don't know if you can tell, but this is the Clad Proof coin. We just tip it up and you can definitely tell. You can see the copper inner core, the copper nickel outer. This is kind of funny because it looks like the copper comes right to the edge. See how the line changes there? Sometimes the way that this cladding goes over the top doesn't completely cover it, but on this one it seems like it got to the edge. If you can find one of these with the cladding off it, those are fun ones. They all go for anywhere from 50 to couple $100. You can see those on eBay sometimes. They just didn't put the top layer on either the front or the back. Let's look at this coin. It says Liberty in the front, and this is Franklin Delano Roosevelt, President of the United States. Underneath his chin it says, "In God We Trust." Right there's an S for the San Francisco Mint. But the San Francisco Mint, they made 2.2 million of these Clad coins, and they're really easy to get and relatively cheap. So you can get this coin in a Proof 70. PCGS says this one, they value this one at about $18. Down here at the bottom you see a J and an S, and that's for John Sinek, who was the engraver of this coin. Let's get back to the dime. The Denver Mint, they also made them in 2003. If you can find this one in a Mint State 68, it's actually worth some money with full bands. And we'll talk about the full bands when we get to the back. This is worth over $100. They made 986 million. They made almost $1 billion of the Denver coins. Again, this is going to be a Clad coin because Denver didn't make any silver versions of the coin. And you can see how sweet this is. And then when we get to the back, you see that this has some pretty good bands, except... So let's look down here at the bottom. We have this kind of line. It's almost, I guess it really is a die crack that goes through there. It's not going to make it hugely expensive, but what it does is makes sure that we can't get the full bands out of it. The bands at the top pretty good. One of the things you also want to look at on these is the flame. These lines in the flame, if they're really well defined, sometimes they give you an indication that you've got a pretty nice coin also. On the right we have an oak sprig with two acorns on it. On the left we have an olive sprig with two olives on it. It says United States of America around the top, one dime at the bottom, e pluribus unum through the center. And again, this coin, if you can get it to full bands, it's worth about $100. Lastly, they made these at the Philadelphia Mint. And remember, in the dimes, they do put the P on it. Oh, I want to show you this. Great letters in 2003. So look how good that P looks. Sometimes you get these kind of ugly looking or crunched in or whatever. Look how good the D looks. And wait till you see the S. The S is one of the best S's ever. Just really clean, shiny, no extra stuff to it. So in 2003, they put great mint marks on you. So if you're looking at a really defined mint mark, look for the 2003. If you want to know what really messy mint marks look like, look at these ones from 1981, the year that was famous for having some of the worst mint marks ever. And you can see the P here, hardly able to even tell that it's a P, the D there, which is starting to fill in, and then when you get over to the S, you'll see that the S on here has this kind of fill in it. The whole inside of the S is full. When we're talking about mint marks, you can get better mint marks and worse mint marks. And let's compare the 1981 with the 2003 from Philadelphia. We look at the P here, and we look at the P from the 1981, and you can tell that there's a huge difference in those two P's. All right, so look at the mint marks sometimes when you look through them and see if you can see any kind of messy mint marks. Sometimes it'll be just a messy mint mark like this, and they're all going to be messy, but sometimes it'll be double punched, and some of those double punched mint marks can be very valuable. Well, how many Philadelphia Mint coins did they make in 2003? Over $1 billion. 1.085 billion of these. And that's interesting because they made so many, but there are very few high quality ones. So an MS68 with the full bands for the 2003 Philly is worth about $200+. We flip this one over and we'll see, well, we're not really looking at full bands here. In fact, these bands down here, you can't even see the left side of the band. This is not going to be a full bands. We do have a little bit of a definition here, but we also have a little bit of a hole in it. Same coin on the back, of course, United States of America, one dime. If you're looking for these, just remember that in 2003, they made $2 billion dimes. So you're going to find them. They're ubiquitous. You're going to find them everywhere. If you want the ones that they didn't make as many of, you can look at the proof dimes. But remember, the proof 70 of this Clad dime is only worth about $18. And it costs money to buy a proof set. So, and guess what? The silver version of this, which they made 1.1 million of, at proof 70, you might be able to get one for about $20 plus dollars. So you can get a proof set at proof 70 of the S's for about $40 for both the Clad S and the Silver S, and that's just amazing in terms of money. But the problem is that's because so many people have them, and there's so many around that you're just not highly valued dollar-wise. Then I'm going to talk about the greatest coin that was made in 2003, and that, of course, is the Maine State Quarter. So it says Maine at the top, 1820, has a lighthouse sailing ship. It says 2003. This is, of course, from the State Quarter series. 2003 was the fourth year of them. They made them starting in 2009, and it's a Washington quarter. If you're looking for a great coin from 2003, look at that Maine State Quarter. 1820 is when Maine became a state, and that's what's at the top, and then 2003. And of course, each year during the State Quarter series, they made 5 different state quarters. But, all right, that's all we have today from DC Coinwell International Coin Channel. We'd love to have you subscribe to our channel and leave any comments you have in the comments section.